Hi, this is PR Sundar. Welcome to this special episode where I am going to talk about ADANI versus George Soros. And this is the burning issue now because 2022 was a very bad year for global stock markets. 2008 there was a Lehman Brothers collapse, 2020 coronavirus, and similarly 2022 was a US inflation, and along with that Russia-Ukraine war. So that has created hell lot of problems, and the markets have seen very bad incidences that has not seen for the last 30-40 years. But 2023 started off with a promising note, and because Russian war, it's no more aggressive, and US inflation started coming down, and the people always say bull markets climb the wall of worries. So as long as there is some problem and the problems are getting reduced one by one, the markets will tend to move higher. Because of that, people thought 2023 will be a good year for the global markets. And in fact, I also in an interview gave a target of 20,500 to 21,000 as the Nifty target for 2023. But the whole thing has changed in just 1 month time. Sometimes in the late January, the Hindenburg research company came out with a report about ADANI, and then the problem started. ADANI stocks started falling, and the fall was so severe. Even the Hindenburg research says the ADANI's stocks are overvalued by about 85%. And I do not know what is the meaning of 85%, but I am assuming that, if the stock is trading at 100 rupees, its real worth is only 15 rupees. 85 rupees is overvalued. I am taking that way. But in the last 1 month, ADANI stocks have fallen on an average more than 70%, around 72-73%, which is very close to what Hindenburg research says. And still there are many stocks keep hitting lower circuits. We do not know. This video is being shot on Thursday, and as of today, ADANI Total Gas has been under lower circuit for 19 straight days. 19 days, 20 days lower circuit, which is not heard of. Yes, there were 1 or 2 incidences like Geetanjali Gems, when there was some scam broke out. So that has happened. But in a normal market condition, and this is just only an allegation against ADANI, but markets are falling like this. Some people actually ask me, sir, why markets are reacting so negatively? We heard that Hindenburg is just a small research firm with only 5 employees. And I replied to them by saying that probably Hindenburg research is just only a front. Somebody must be behind Hindenburg research and some big people. So otherwise, why the stocks has to fall so much? And then, as per my expectation, within few weeks, George Soros, he came and announced that Adani's future is tied with Modi, or Modi's future is tied with Adani, or something like that. And that has created even more problems. First, who is this George Soros? George Soros is a hedge fund manager, and his hedge fund is one of the best performing hedge fund in the world. And he has got a lot of money. In 1991, he shorted sterling pound, and he shorted for about 10 billion US dollars, and he made about 1 billion profit. I'm not very much aware of that incident, but in 1997, and he shorted Thai baht. Thailand currency is called Thai baht, and again he made 1 billion profit. And that time I was in Southeast Asia, I was in Singapore, so I know a little bit. And Thailand is a third world country, is a small country, and they have allowed borrowing in US dollar so freely. When your local currency want to borrow, interest rate is 8%, 10%, you want to borrow from US dollars, 1%, 2%, naturally everybody will buy. At that point of time, 1996, 1997, Mercedes-Benz is a car being produced by Germany, and naturally the German market will be the largest market for Mercedes-Benz. And do you know which was the second largest market for Benz? It was Thailand, which is a tiny country. That shows, the cheap credit from US dollars, people buy and they had all kinds of luxury things. I heard from one of my friends, but I'm not sure how far this is true. George Soros reportedly sent one of his representative to meet the Thailand central bank governor and to tell him that what he's doing is wrong. And you just can't borrow from US at a cheap rate of interest. If tomorrow, if your currency comes under attack and your currency depreciates, the interest may be less, but the principal you have to return will become very high and your country will be in a big trouble. And Thailand central bank governor reportedly told the representative that, our currency cannot come under attack because we have a strong US dollar balance, foreign reserves. And don't know what was the figure. Let us say he said X amount. Then the representative came out, called Soros. The governor says he has X amount of foreign reserves, so his currency cannot be attacked. Then Soros seems to have told him, okay, if they have X amount of foreign reserves, go and short X amount of Thai baht. So let them deplete the entire foreign reserves, and then they will know what will happen. And they shorted, and finally, within few months, $1 was equal to 25 Thai baht. Within few months, it has become $1 equal to 55 baht. That has created huge problem to not only to Thailand, the entire ASEAN. There's a group of 10 countries called ASEAN group, where Thailand, Singapore, Malaysia, Philippines, Indonesia, so those countries. The entire region was affected. I still remember I was working as a school teacher in Singapore. Because of that economic trouble, our salary was reduced. Of course, our salary was reduced just by 1%. That's a different story. Even the Singapore was affected. Nobody could believe. And we thought, Singapore is such a strong country. Nothing can happen to Singapore. But the ripple effect of Thailand even affected Singapore. Why I'm saying this? This George Soros, he takes on the governments. He doesn't take on the individual people. And he goes against their policies. And then he formulated something called the general theory of reflexivity for capital market. He says, renders a clear picture of asset bubbles and fundamental market value of securities, as well as discrepancies used for shorting and swapping of stocks. So wherever there is a huge bubble and he go on short, that is what he has done exactly in England. That is what he has done exactly in Thailand. Now, I do not know whether he has taken any short position in ADANI Group stocks. Technically, he cannot short because ADANI stocks are traded only in India. They are not traded in abroad. Even the Hindenburg, when they came out with the report, they said that they have not given a clear picture. They said that they are shorting ADANI bonds, but shorting the bond, how much you are going to get? Not a big deal. You short a stock, the stock can fall 50%, 60%, 70%, 90%. But bonds cannot fall so much. They just used a technical word, offshore derivative linked with India. I do not know what do they mean by, probably SGX Nifty or something like that. But however, if they have taken a short position in SGX Nifty, then it is not against ADANI, it is against India. So they were not very clear. Most probably what they could have done, this is just a theory only, and what these people claim Hindenburg. The money is actually flowing out of India to Adani's brother's account, then coming back to India through FIA account. Probably this Hindenburg or George Soros would have funded some other FIAs in order to short the market in India. So that's a possibility. So these are all like, we are just guessing whether this could have happened and that could have happened, So we don't have the information. Again, ADANI Stocks, ADANI, the name ADANI Enterprise, ADANI Port, like that. So there are 7 stocks. Out of these 7 stocks, only 2 stocks are traded in futures and options. The remaining 5 stocks are trading in cash market, which cannot be shorted. So that means finally it's only ADANI Enterprise and ADANI Port. And shorting ADANI Port will not make a big sense. That's because, even George Soros says, wherever there is an asset bubble, that is where he go on short. Whereas ADANI Port is not in a bubble zone and still trading at a very cheap PE ratio. Probably the only one stock left is ADANI Enterprise, and probably they are shorting it, and that is why you can see the huge volatility in that particular stock. And from 3000 it came below 1000 in 3 trading sessions. From below 1000 went up to 2000 plus in 3 trading sessions, then started drifting slowly. Now as of today it closed below 1400. Now where this fight is going to end and who is going to win, only the time will tell who is going to win. But the short sellers will be so powerful, they will continue to short and until some margin calls are triggered. So first, what is margin call? ADANI Group must have pledged the shares of ADANI Group companies in order to take some loan. And not only the ADANI Group, even the people outside. Even Vinod Adani, Gautam Adani's brother, he owns a company in Singapore. That company has taken a loan of $263 million from a Russian bank. For that, guarantor was another 2 funds. They only own ADANI Group stocks. So if ADANI Group shares keep coming down, their net asset value will come down. So therefore they cannot stand as a guarantor, they have to pump in more money. So not only for Adani in India, for his brother outside India also, the margin calls will be triggered sooner than later. So how they are going to handle? So that's a one big question. Second big question, the institutions who have lent the money to Adani will also be questioned. And you can see already, along with the ADANI stocks, the PSU banks are coming under huge selling pressure. In the last 1 week, 10 days, I think PSU bank index has fallen about 10%. Why? Because many PSU banks have exposure to ADANI. And the Bank of Baroda CEO said he is willing to lend more money to ADANI, and then people are willing to short Bank of Baroda. From that day until today, Bank of Baroda keeps going down. Now, these lenders who are holding the shares of ADANI as a security, so they will have to ask ADANI to pledge more and more shares or to top up the money. Otherwise, at some point of time, so these institutions will have to sell those shares, and otherwise it will become NPA. So normal procedure in a bank is that if they lend the money to you by taking your shares as a pledging, and when the shares keep falling, either you have to top up by money or top up by shares, otherwise they will sell the shares in the secondary market. So if that happens, that is when the real pain will happen. Now without that bigger pain, ADANI stocks have already fallen 70-75%. And if that happens, what will happen? And then again, LIC is one of the largest institution in India and which has invested about 30,000 crore. It is as per their own statement. As of January 27, They said their market value of their 30,000 crore investment was about 56,000 crores. And from January 27 until now, ADANI stocks on an average have fallen more than 70%. So which means that LIC's share value would have gone down by about 70%. That translates into a staggering amount of 35,000 crore. So now the point here is that next quarter when they declare the results, so this mark to market is going to be a big problem for LIC. And LIC came out with a public issue, I think around 900 rupees per share. Now I think it is trading around 600 rupees. So it has already lost 1/3 of the value. But now this ADANI saga is likely to keep LIC also under pressure. Either they have to sell the shares. If they sell the shares, ADANI stocks will fall even more. If they don't sell the shares, if ADANI shares keep falling, so then LIC's net asset value will keep going down. Now, ADANI, it will not fall alone, and ADANI will bring the PSU banks as well as LIC along with him. Of course, LIC and PSU banks may not fall as much as ADANI stocks, but still, they will see the collateral damage. These short sellers, seems to have planned everything, and probably these people would have shorted even before they come out with their research, and they must be sitting with a very good profit. The problem with the system, if you short a stock around 4,000 rupees, when it comes to 2,000 rupees, you have got 2,000 rupees MTM profit. You can use that MTM profit to short it again. Again, when it comes to 1,000 rupees, you will be having another 2,000 rupees MTM profit, because 1,000 from the previous one, 1,000 from the current one, and people will short it again. So if the things go bad, and slowly the stocks will move towards zero. We have seen many stocks like that. Reliance Infra, Reliance Capital. So these are all stocks traded around 3,000 rupees. From 3,000 rupees, and slowly they came down to 30 rupees. Of course, whether that will happen to ADANI or not, it's anybody's guess. But definitely the short sellers are aiming for something like that. So how ADANI is going to handle this? That's a $1 billion question. And right now in this war, the short sellers like Hindenburg and George Soros seems to be having upper hand. Why we are so much worried? We are not worried about George Soros, we are not worried about Hindenburg, we are not worried about ADANI, but we are worried about the overall stock market. But as long as this ADANI group is in trouble, the overall sentiment will also be very, very bad. After the budget, and usually the market will do a trending, I expected the trend to be on the higher side, and I was bullish. I was expecting Nifty to go towards 19,000. But what has happened? Contrary to my expectation, just opposite has happened. And today is Thursday, expiry, and Nifty expired around 17,500. Now, with this, Nifty has fallen about 1,400 point. 1,400 point is about 7-8%. And that is when the entire global markets are looking very good. So we have lost about 8-9% in Nifty, 10-12% in Bank Nifty, and 70-75% in ADANI. And how long it's going to continue, so we do not know. So definitely, if things do not settle down, and then things will get even bad. Why? Because in the month of May, Karnataka state election results, if the results go against BJP, then again the market will feel more jitter. And then after that, November, 5 state elections, and then next year, May, parliament election. There are a lot of uncertainties. In the month of January, I came out with a video. I was very bullish. Then next one I came out with a video. I was cautious, and now this is my third video. I think now I'm turning slightly bearish. So I have no hope that Nifty will see even 20,000 this year. For the last 7 consecutive years, Nifty has never ended in red, but just only 2 months over this year. But as of now, we are negative for the year 2023, whereas I don't think that there is any other country which is negative for the year 2023, and there are a lot more uncertainties. So why I am saying all these things? Number one, do not touch the ADANI stocks, do not catch the falling knife, and then even for the broader market also, be cautious, and it is not the time to take an aggressive stock market calls. With the interest rates are ruling very good, nowadays it's very easy to get 7-8% interest, and I do not know whether market will give that kind of return in the next 1 year. So that's it for now. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you for watching.